So here we are in Capernaum, and we're in the synagogue. This is in the village of Capernaum. Again, this is exactly where Jesus was, spent much of his ministry time. In Mark chapter 5, we read the story starting in verse 21, where Jesus, it says, got into the boat again and went back to the other side of the lake, where a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. So this is right here in the shore at Capernaum. Then the leader of the local synagogue, whose name was Jairus, arrived. When he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet, pleading fervently with him. "My little daughter is dying," he said. "Please come and lay your hands on her, heal her, so she can live." Jesus went with him, so he came up through the streets towards Jairus' house, and all the people followed, crowding around him. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding. She had suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she had spent everything she had to pay them, but she had gotten no better. In fact, she had gotten worse. She heard about Jesus, so she came up behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she thought to herself, "If I can just touch his robe, I'll be healed." Immediately the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of her terrible condition. Jesus realized at once that healing power had gone out from him, so he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my robe?" His disciples said to him, "Look at this crowd pressing around you. How can you ask, 'Who touched me?'" But he kept on looking around to see who had done it. Then the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what had happened to her, came and fell to her knees in front of him and told him what he had done. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over."